We begin with President Trump, who is poised to take action today that could test our 230-year-old system of checks and balances in government. He's expected to declare a national emergency at the U.S. Mexican border so he can reallocate federal money to build a border wall. This morning, the president is due to sign a budget deal passed overwhelmingly by Congress that will prevent another government shutdown. It includes only about 1/4 of the border security funding the president demanded, so he plans to act on his own to find the rest.
Well, CBS News confirms the president does plan to spend $8 billion on that wall. $3.5 billion will come from the Defense Department's military construction budget. Another $2.5 million will be diverted from the Pentagon's drug interdiction program, and $600 million will come from the Treasury Department's drug forfeiture fund. Nancy Cordes is on Capitol Hill with a move that is sure to be challenged in court. Nancy, good morning to you.
Good morning. Well, declaring a national emergency essentially means that the president can gather the funds that he wants for a border wall without the approval of Congress. Democrats accuse him of fear-mongering to get what he wants, and even some Republicans worry that this creates a dangerous precedent.
Declaring a national emergency would be a lawless act, a gross abuse of the power of the presidency.
The decision sent shockwaves through Capitol Hill.
Will Trump ever look our soldiers and veterans in the eye and tell them that it is they who will pay for this wall of waste? Of course not.
The president has unilateral powers to declare a national emergency, which enables him to seize property and redirect funds from other projects without congressional approval. It is typically reserved for natural disasters or major crises, like the September 11th attacks or foreign interference in U.S. elections. President Trump has been hinting at it for weeks.
If they can't do it, I will declare a national emergency. I have the absolute right to do it.
GOP leaders who had been lukewarm on the idea suddenly had a change of heart.
I've indicated to him that I'm going to support the national emergency declaration.
House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy wrote, "We face a humanitarian and national security crisis at the border that must be addressed." But Democrats point to Customs and Border statistics that show illegal border crossings are near a 20-year low. Do you still plan to file a legal challenge?
That's an option, and we'll review our options.
The president's allies argue he was left with little choice. After a 5-week partial shutdown and 3-week congressional negotiation failed to produce funding he had demanded for his proposed border wall. But some Republicans worry the move could create new options for a future Democratic president. Speaker Pelosi pointed to the Parkland shooting and gun violence as an example.
That's a national emergency. Why don't you declare that emergency, Mr. President? I wish you would. But a Democratic president can do that. Democratic president can declare emergencies as well.
Even if the president does sign this emergency declaration, all those funds might not go to a wall right away. That's because he is expected to face an array of legal challenges from House Democrats and others. The president, Gayle, insists that the law is 100% on his side.
Well, we're not surprised to hear that from the White House, but this conversation certainly continues. Thank you, Nancy.